Yes.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm Ryan.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Me too.
Can I get your first name?
Maria.
Maria. How you doing today?
Oh no.
Yeah. Do you have any trouble finding the place?
No.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit of what brought you here today?
Well, I've been feeling like tired and sad lately, and I really don't know why. I've been spending more time alone, not doing my usual activities. I mean, I'm not like suicidal or anything like that, but I don't know, I don't have any energy and I just feel down.
Doesn't feel like you've been feeling yourself lately.
No, I haven't.
That's rough. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
When did this start?
Like, probably 2 months ago. Well, actually 3 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, about 3 months ago.
Huh. Did anything happen 3 months ago?
I mean, I moved here 4 months ago.
Huh. Where did you move from?
Daytona.
Daytona. I don't know where that is. Can you tell me about that?
It's in Florida, Daytona Beach.
Wow, so you moved. That's far. Like Daytona to Seattle?
Yeah.
Wow. Man, what? How did you decide to move up here?
Well, so I see all of these things on travel channels and, stuff on the news. And I had a couple of friends that had been up here before, and they were saying it was kind of like, kind of like an international, flavor, kind of similar to, Florida, but different because of the mountains and, the weather is different. And they said it was kind of a different atmosphere, and I was ready to do something different in my life. I didn't want to follow the routine that everybody else followed. And so I decided, get away from Daytona, and seemed like Seattle was a good place to go.
Cool. How have you liked it so far?
Well, the first month it was pretty cool. I was getting myself all situated, my place furnished and getting my bank account set up and post office, all that kind of stuff. And then, I tried to be friendly to people when I saw them, like, on the street or in the store, that kind of thing. And, I speak to people and they acted like they didn't even see me, or they looked at me and like looked right through me, and after it happened several times, I'm like, well, wow, I didn't think I looked that different than other people that are here, so I don't know what's going on. So I just kind of started staying in my apartment and not coming out as much unless, I had something that I needed to do.
Yeah. Wow. So it sounds like you were going places and people were like treating you differently.
Yeah. And I don't know why. When I go to the store or the bank or, post office, the people that work there, they were friendly. But everybody else, they just, I don't know, they wouldn't respond.
That's confusing.
It is confusing. I don't know what I did. All I did was say hi. If you see somebody coming toward you and they make eye contact, I would just say hi or hello. Actually, I would say hey, because that's what we say in Daytona.
Yeah.
And they act like they didn't hear me. So it happened a couple times, and then I just thought, well, that was just them. But then it just kept happening, and so I just decided to just, not say anything to people anymore.
That's hard. Is there anybody here who you talk with?
Not really, other than the people, like I said, at the store, the bank, post office, those people, because they've seen me come in a few times and they know I'm not from here. Because I had a little bit of conversation with them, but other than that, I don't have any friends. I don't know anybody here.
Yeah. Gotcha. Did you have a lot of friends back in Daytona?
Not a lot. When I started working, I actually ran into somebody that I had gone to school with, and then we reconnected, and then they introduced me to some of their friends, and so I would do things like with them and their friends. But I've always been kind of shy, so I don't have a lot of friends.
Right. It sounds like, I'm assuming this is a change, because it sounds like this is new for you to move to a place and then be treated differently. Because I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm guessing you weren't treated like that back in Florida.
Right. No, I pretty much knew most of the people, not all of them, but I grew up in a neighborhood, and then I got a job and I moved, not way far away from home, but probably about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 miles from where my parents live,
Okay.
And so there was a group of people that I kind of would see all the time, and you go to the gas station, get some gas, and somebody say hey to you, and next thing you know, you're having a conversation like you've known them all your life, even though you didn't.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was comfortable, and I felt okay there, but I don't feel like that here. I just kind of feel like maybe I'm not sure I made the right decision to come up here. I don't want to leave. I want to give it a try. I signed a lease for a year, so but I don't have any friends.
Yeah, it sounds like it's been really hard. Like you said, making friends and just making social connections. It sounds like, yeah. That's rough. Gosh. What have you? Let's see. So you mentioned you signed a lease. How's your neighborhood? Because you said that when you go out in the community, you get these looks and people aren't friendly. But what's your neighborhood like?
Well, it's a nice neighborhood. It's Magnolia. When I was still in Daytona and I was looking online to try to find some place to move to, I saw Magnolia. Well, we have magnolia trees down there, so I thought, well, that's kind of like a sign. I'll just move there, and it's a nice neighborhood. There's a lot of couples in the apartment building that I live in, but it seems to be fine. I haven't had any bad stuff happen to me, and it's what I just noticed is people don't make a lot of eye contact. They don't really. It seems like everybody's going somewhere in a hurry.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I didn't expect that here. I'm at a loss. I tried to figure it out and see if I could come up with something, but I don't know. I was hoping maybe you could tell me, is it something that happens all the time with people if you're new, or is it just me, or what?
A lot of people talk about the Seattle freeze. I don't know have you heard about that?
No.
It's a cultural difference in Seattle. There's a saying here that people just aren't as they're not as friendly initially. They take a long time to get to know you. They're not as social. For example, if people go out someplace at night, go out to a club or an event, usually they go with a group of friends, and their goal is not to meet other people at the event; it's to spend time with their friends. And did you experience was that similar in Florida, or how was it when you went out in Florida?
No, I mean, you get welcomed by people. They're very open, and it's like Southern hospitality because people are very friendly.
Yeah.
They're very friendly. When I moved into the apartment that I moved into, I even had somebody come and knock on my door and bring me something to eat because I was new to the apartment, kind of blew me away, but because I wasn't expecting it. But I just thought, well, wow, that's really nice.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, but nothing like that ever happened here. I mean, I don't even know if the people that I live with in the apartment, if they even know that I'm new. For all they know, I've been there forever. Because all you ever see is people coming and going, and they will say hi,
yeah,
but they don't have any conversation with you. Beside that, I'm by myself, and so I don't want to give somebody the wrong impression, like a couple or some woman that I'm after her boyfriend or husband or whatever. So I just mumble hi and keep going.
Yeah. That sounds really lonely.
It is.
Can you tell me a little bit about your interests and I'm just trying to think of ways, because it sounds like what I'm hearing is that you want to meet some new people and establish some connections here.
That would be nice.
Yeah. How would you like to go about that? Do you have any ideas?
Well, so when I was in Daytona, actually pretty much everything that I got involved in was because someone referred me. I mean, even my job, when I was trying to find a job, my neighbor across the street told me that there was a job open where she worked for the city of Daytona in the Economic Development Department, and I applied. Actually, it wasn't economic development then. It kind of went through some changes, but I started working for my neighbor, and I was doing clerical work, and then I worked my way up, and they had some reorganizations in the city departments, and I ended up working in the Economic Development Department. And when I first started working there, I ran into this friend that I used to go to school with, and then she introduced me to some of her friends, and I got into this book club. I went to exercise class with her. I didn't do that too often because it was just doing exercise inside, and I didn't really want to do that. I'd rather be outside walking. But that got me going. And I did some volunteer work with a nonprofit organization. Again, through her referral, because I had taken care of my favorite uncle. And, he was sick and he passed away, but I was helping him. And I really, got a lot of joy out of doing that. And I had mentioned it to her, and she told me about this nonprofit organization that worked with people that had cancer. And so I started doing that. And, so I met people that way. So, I mean, I do better with people one-on-one, but I can interact with other people too, with groups, so.
Wow, it sounds like you were doing a lot, actually. That's quite impressive.
Well, it just helps me not think about stuff so much if I stay busy.
Yeah. What kind of stuff do you think about when you're not busy?
Well, so I've been having trouble sleeping. I can sleep for a while, then I'll wake up, and then I can't go back to sleep because my mind won't stop working, and maybe I'll watch TV and stay up for a long time. I could take a nap in the afternoon and sleep for hours, and then by the time I wake up from that, I'm not sleepy, so I can't sleep at night, but kind of think about stuff that happened when I was at home, when I was growing up.
How long has that been going on for?
Well, it's been going on for the last 3 months.
I see. So ever since you moved here.
Yeah, after that first month. First month was fine. I was busy. But after I got everything situated and, my apartment furnished and just everything taken care of, I just started having trouble sleeping. And so I have these thoughts from my past. And so then sometimes I have to use something to help me sleep.
Yeah. That sounds difficult. Sounds like you're going through a lot right now.
Yeah.
What do you use to help you sleep?
Alcohol.
Mm-hmm. And that helps?
For a short period of time, then I end up waking up again.
Yeah. How much do you usually have to drink?
Well, like 2 or something like that, maybe a little more. Doesn't seem to work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Boy. Sounds like a lot of... That's been a lot, just all in a very short, time period. This has all happened in just a few months. You've moved, you haven't been able to make a lot of connections, and you've been having trouble sleeping. Yeah. Gosh. But I do hear that you want to meet people, and that being active in your community, through volunteering, it sounds like, because you said you volunteered for
non-profit organization.
Yeah. It sounds like you really liked that, and that really kept you busy, kept your mind off things.
It was rewarding.
Would it be helpful if, we made, so usually when I meet with clients, I like to establish some goals. And what I'm hearing from you is that there's been some things in the past that are making it hard to sleep because you're thinking about them a lot. And I'm also hearing, though, you just moved here and you're working to make some connections and start being active again.
I'd like to.
Yeah. Are those a couple of goals maybe we can focus on in our sessions?
Yeah.
So maybe talking more about why you're having trouble sleeping, and then working on maybe trying out some volunteer places.
Sure, that would be great.
Yeah. That'd be good too. Awesome. Glad to hear it. What, so you mentioned that, let's see, is that something you would like me to look up for you?
Well, I'm not really familiar with Seattle, and what direction to go, what would be a good place to go.
Mm-hmm.
If I could, the book club I was in was, it was alternative type books, things that would kind of expand your thinking, things that maybe we're not aware of that could be, out there, and if we open our minds up, that we could be, for example, just remembered, I went with my friend to see this movie called What the Bleep. Have you ever heard of that movie?
I haven't, but it sounds interesting. The idea of, I'm glad that it sounds like you know what you're very specific with the type of book club you're looking for. So that's good. That's a good start, right?
Yeah, I don't want to just, I'm not interested in reading, fiction. It more about the mind. I just remembered this scene in the movie where it was during Christopher Columbus Day, they did an example, and they used that as the example, and they showed this shaman looking out at the water, and he saw ripples in the water, and no one else saw the ripples. Well, then eventually he saw Columbus's ship, and initially people didn't really see it because they didn't know what a ship was. They just saw the ripples, but then they were able to. He saw it first, and then when he explained it to the other people, they saw it too.